Once the back wall assembly is completed and the headers are installed, it's time to test the lighting and electrical system before populating the wall with trays. First step is to take an empty carrier tray out of its carton and use it to test each back wall panel by inserting it into each panel. Align the brackets on the tray with the slots in the back wall. Push in and let it drop. And you see the tray lights up. Take the tray, test each panel, upper and lower, down the length of the wall, to confirm that they all have electrical power. If the tray doesn't light when you first put it in, turn the tray over. Confirm that there's an LED strip installed in the bottom of the tray. Also confirm that the tray bracket, which conducts the electricity to the LED strip, is firmly connected in the clip at each end of the LED strip to provide continuity. If some of the panels light, but not all of the panels light, check the following. First, check that the feeder cap plug is plugged into the power supply box. As you can see, this one was loose. The tray went on when I plugged it back in. If you have problems with multiple panels beneath one header, check the following. Check that the plug on the right-hand side of the header is plugged into the male plug coming from the adjacent header through the square hole in the end cap. Also check that the mini plugs between each power supply box is firmly pushed in between each power supply box. Also check that all Molex plugs which come from the feeder cap are plugged securely into the power supply boxes. If the entire wall has no power, check that the male plug at the far end of the header, which exits the top of the header, is plugged into a wall outlet. If in doubt, check that the wall outlet has power going into it. If a single column of panels doesn't light, it's possible that the power supply box is not operating. To test if the power supply box is operating, take an adjacent power supply box that is providing power to the panels and replace the one that we think isn't working. To do so, unplug the main power from the fixture. Then proceed to unplug the mini plugs on the left and the right of the power supply box, holding it in. Remove the Molex plug coming out of the feeder cap on the top by snapping it out. And unscrew both thumb screws left and right of the unit. Remember to hold it while you're unscrewing it so it doesn't fall down. Once removed, take an alternate working power supply box and put it back in place. Once it's in place, plug it all back in. The mini plugs left and right. The Molex plug on the top. Test the wall again with the tray. The tray lights up. If you're having problems with the lower panel in a column and the upper panel lights, make sure that the seam between the panels is closed and the two panels are firmly engaged one to the other. If both panels are out, you also should check that the feeder cap is firmly connected to the back wall panel. That completes the test for your new Eclipse wall.